Well, talking about getting this flow ready, and getting these kids ready for the golf course, um, for a round or to hit some golf balls or anything like that. I know for me personally, when I was playing as a junior golfer, I would step out on the golf course at 7:30 in the morning for a tournament and maybe hit like 15 golf balls to get ready. And then I would feel that I was loosened up after 9 holes. I'm playing 9 holes, and that's when I start playing better golf. So I think these drills maybe benefit to those kids when it comes to getting warmed up. So you're ready on the first tee rather than 3, 4, 5, 6 holes later on, right?
100%. Yeah, like we talked about this before, that if you know that feeling you get when you're like 3 or 4 holes in, where you think, oh, okay, I feel like I'm in the round now. Like I feel like I'm off the first tee jitters, and I'm loosened up. I've hit some shots. I've hit all my irons. I've hit a couple drives. I'm good. Like imagine taking that feeling, only do it on the first tee, and get all of that out of the way. So you're not like, oh, I hope if I can just get a few pars, I'll be okay. Like you're just buying that time till you get to that third or fourth hole. No, you want to be third or fourth hole ready on the first tee, and that's why it can be bad. Like if you're in a rush, then here's a couple things. Absolutely, just you can work on these things. You're ready to go, that you feel confident, and as well as I, like if you can at least be confident mentally that this is working and you're ready to go play, you'll go play much better. But if you've got doubts, or you're anxious, or if you just had to hit 30 more balls because you're hoping to get it right or perfect, you're already setting yourself up for failure. We want to be ready on that first tee, which also means, you're right, we don't need to spend a large bucket of balls playing, what you said 80 shots on a golf course, 80, 90 shots on a golf course. What, half of them are, 30 of them, 40 of them, maybe 30 are putts. You're going to spend a medium bucket before that. So we don't want to play 9 holes or 18 holes in the driving range to go play. Like we need that energy for the next 3-4 hours out on the golf course.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why the warm ups are so important. I mean, I know this was a conversation we had before this, but yeah, I always felt that it's always interesting seeing a kid show up 2 hours before their tee time, arriving before even the golf shop staff even shows up, and it's hitting. They had golf balls from the day before or something, and they're hitting at the driving range before everyone even shows up, and it's just not beneficial. I mean, you could spend that other hour just sleeping, and
Yeah, right.
it's something that I always found surprising. I mean, because by the end of the day, after walking 18 holes and hitting that bucket of golf balls, these kids are playing somewhere between 27 and 36 holes physically. Like, I mean, in the number of golf balls that they hit, maybe even more based off of what they shoot in their rounds. I mean, if they should average 70 in their rounds and they're hitting 80 golf balls at the range, that's 36 holes, even more. So,
You're absolutely right that if you're a young player right now watching us or listening to us, and let's say you're under 15 years old, that you've got a lot of energy anyway, and so I mean maybe you can withstand that. Like kids, they have the energy, it's not too hot, so you got to take into factors like, hey, I need that energy, I need to be hydrated, because if that sun's really hot at 11 a.m., boy, you know how it is when you get sunburnt. You moisture and water goes right out of your head, right out of your body as you sweat, and you're already starting to deplete much faster because you were the one that was using more energy than you needed to before you even started. So that, obviously, that's a whole nother kind of conversation as far as like what to eat and what to drink and everything. But you want to stay that factors around the environment matter. But that even though you have the energy, we've got to use it the right way. It's like, you can have a car that's got a big engine, and you've got a smaller car with a smaller engine. That, I mean, they both can go fast, but they both require different types of fuel, or you have to have certain tires. So everybody's body's a little different. It's how you manage the energy that you're going to, put into the golf. And you want every shot. You have your body, and mentally and physically, you're prepared to put the best swing every time. From hole 1 to hole 18, it matters. If you're an older, competitive player, like I said, I'd just say over 16, 17, 18, you're thinking about college, I know I work with several of the Akron University golfers, a couple on the Cleveland State team too. Um, their competitions are 36 holes where they hand them the scorecard at 7 a.m. and they say, see you when you get back. And so, I mean, that is a long, grueling day. To prepare physically for that, that's a different kind of thing. So you're right. If you hit 30, 40 balls on the beginning of the range before that, you're much, that's a, you're really depleting yourself differently. That's a different way of setting up. We're preparing to compete because that's a marathon. That's not a sprint. So it's a different kind of strategy depending on how old you are.
Yeah, yeah, and I think definitely you can't fix everything when you go on the when you go to the driving range in the morning too.
Totally
And
agree.
we had this conversation yesterday too. Is that when you tee off and you're 3 holes in, you already know whether you have it or you don't. Like you said before with us in our previous conversation, and I think that's something that kids need to understand too. Is that they just can't go up there and be like, "Oh, I need to work on my driver" when I show up there and try to crack as many drivers as they can so they can get it right. Because if they don't have it right that day, it's odds are it's probably not going to be right for the whole day too.
Yeah. I shared part of the story briefly, but I remember I took lessons, started really taking the game seriously about 14 years old, 14, 15 years old. I took lessons and I struggled, but I was getting better. But so much of when I went and played, I was just thinking about, boy, my golf pro says my hands, and I'm trying to, you get so focused on your technique. And I remember one evening I went out and I played 9 holes by myself and I shot 42. That was the first time I'd shot like in the 40s, and I went all the way down to 42, and I could have ran home. I was so excited, but it was that moment where I put it all together, and then that's when I remember it was like this defining moment. Then the game changed. You spend so much time on your technical part, and you forget that it's a game. So you got to go out and play a game, just like I were gonna play a board game. You've got to play the game. Golf is a game. You got to go play it. You got to go compete against other people trying to play the game. That first tee is not the time to be thinking about, boy, I hope my hands are in the right position, or boy, I really need to work on my impact. No, no, no. That's for practice. That's for other times. When we're competing, this is golf. We're trying to play the game. So it's important that warm up is, you're right, preparing my body to play the game, and then preparing on the driving range to go, okay, these are the kind of shots that I need to be able to hit today. I can kind of get maybe I don't need my driver on 3 or 4 holes. Maybe that first hole, I'm going to practice hitting my iron or my hybrid off the tee. Get yourself off to success in those first few holes. That's what the practice is to begin. You said it's not the time to go, boy, I should work on all my 3-foot putts, or boy, I need to work on my legs. If there's smaller greens on that golf course, maybe work on the 10, 12 footers. That's what you're going to see all day. So it's that strategy of playing that matters, definitely.
Yeah, I like that. I know me personally as a junior golfer, I was the one that was cracking the drives at the driving range in the morning. So
Yeah, right.
definitely cool to hear these kind of philosophies and strategies going into a tournament and just making sure that you're ready to step onto that tee. And I think it's just definitely something really cool that you do, and definitely helps um, add benefit to those junior golfers that are really trying to get to where they need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody can do. We're gonna go over a couple of really cool, quick tricks and things you can do that will absolutely help you. You may not think it is at the time, but you want to do. If you like to exercise, or you really like um, fitness, I always say it means a lot of different things to different people. So there's a lot of adults and maybe some young people that have had physical therapy for injuries or something like that, and you didn't like doing it. It's kind of like your vegetables, right? And you're like, they're good for you, but you don't like them at the time, and until you realize that you're the healthy person out there. But if you've had setbacks, you've had injuries, like, it's hard to go through that, but those little deposits of doing things lead up to your success later. So I always say it's like a harvest. If you plant plant a seed today, do you have an apple tree tomorrow? No. You got to water it. You got to give it sunlight. Eventually, you're going to have it. And then really, fitness is kind of the same way. If you really like to work out, you keep diligently doing it, you're going to see the rewards. If you don't like to work out, but you really like riding bikes, or you like to go for a jog, you'll see the benefits of that long term too. But it's not like a book report. You can't read the book the night before and cram and then show up on that next tee the next day hoping that you're fit and strong enough. It's that harvest. It's that law of the planting the seed that really matters. So a little bit here and there, it means a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I think I was an exercise science major too. I just got my bachelor's, but I
Your
think
whole I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. We should have been geeking out on that before. That's great.
but I was gonna say the fun things that I've learned through all of this was the fact of, yeah, going to the gym is fun, but like you said, if you like riding a bike, ride a bike. Do it as much as you want. If you don't like running, you don't have to run. I think when I was doing my internship, it was very surprising to see the amount of people learning that they don't have to go running to lose weight or to get fit. They can go
Yeah.
ride a bike, or like I would never have anybody over the age of 50 that hasn't worked out in the past 5 years run on a treadmill. I would have them go on a reciprocal bike or an elliptical and stuff like that, that is lower impact and is more enjoyable for them. And I think that's something that people need to understand when they jump into fitness, that they don't have to do what they see on TV all the time. You don't have to grab a 100-pound tire and flip it over like you see all these pros. I mean, you can in the future if you start to really enjoy it, but just do stuff that you think is fun, that is keep, you know.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. I've seen people that they were like, oh yeah, I've been trying to run more, and I'm like, oh well, how long? Well, I'm trying to run 3 or 4 miles a day, and the next question, I'm like, do you like it? And then they'll go, well, and I go, you don't like it, do you? You don't like. I hate to say it that way, but if you don't like something, chances are long term you're just not going to do it. You just, if do you like to, yeah, I like to kayak, or okay, go kayak. What is kayaking like? If we were going to get in a kayak and do this, what does this look like? Well, this is a lot of upper body strength, right? Well, yeah, I'm not using my lower body. You're using a lot of core muscles to like keep you in that boat. If you've ever gone like canoeing or something like that, the next day you're like, man, my abs are sore. You're using your upper body. Like, do you think that could be good for your golf game? Do you think stronger arms, stronger shoulders, and a stronger like core would be good for your golf game? Well, yeah, there you go. So you've backdoor, secretly kind of been working by doing other activities. Can going to the gym for an hour do that too? Of course. But some people just don't have access to it, or they don't know what they're doing, or that's why I kind of help guide people into what they want to do. And one other thing I was found a lot of success with this too is on a 1 to 10 scale, how confident are you're going to do something? Like, I can give you a million exercises. You know that, right? There's 1,000 things you can do out there. How confident are you can do it? Well, 1 is no way I'm going to do that. 10, I can do that in my sleep. Okay. Can you do these 5 things once a week? What's your number? I'm a 10. Okay, good. Can you do 7 things once a week? I'm an 8. Nope, we'll go back to 5. Because if you're not a 9 or a 10, it's your number. But if you can't be confident you're going to do something, you're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And we're all guilty of that too. I would love to work out 8 days a week, right? I can't. I just physically can't. So my confidence to do that is like a 2. So I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. But if you can you can be honest with yourself and say, I'm really confident I can do these 3 or 4 drills that Neal gave me. If you could do it once a week, hey, great. Can you do it twice a week? But don't beat ourselves up to be like, well, everybody else is doing it that way. No, if you're confident in the amount of time you have, if you can say you're 9 or a 10 on that confidence scale, then you'll do it. But if you can't, it's either too much or it's too hard, and we got to go back to the drawing board. We got to give you something you're going to be confident to do.
Yeah, I like that. That's I mean, it's really cool to hear that kind of stuff, and being able to get these people more ready for that, being able to get back into that fitness life. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some people that never jumped into it or were in it, but think they still have to do the same thing that they did before, or there's kids that just what Justin Johnson does and that's it, And I mean, that's the stuff that surprised me when I was in my internship for sure. So.
Yeah. They call it, and when you get into like high school and college, it's called exercise prescription. And I've always said that the reason you go to the doctor because you have pain, they give you a prescription. That's a prescribed medicine for the ailment that you have, or something that's going to make you better. So an exercise prescription is really supposed to be the same thing. It's very specific or more tailored to what you need to get better. You would not go take somebody else's medication. Now, it might help you, but there's a reason why we call it exercise prescription. When it's prescribed, that means it's the right dosage, it's the right amount, it's the right intensity for what you need to get better. So, I mean, clearly we all know there's medicines out there that if you have migraines, you take medicine for your migraines. It helps your migraines. I don't have migraines. If I take that medicine, is it going to help me? No. I could have a side effect from it. I could be taking it and then actually hurting myself. Exercise is the same way. Everybody's got a different prescription that we need to have, really.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed this conversation, Neal, and I think we're kind of hitting that time limit to where social media allowed us to post stuff. So, I would love to continue talking about this, and maybe we can, in person, sometime in the future, talk about this more. Obviously, both of us can geek out about exercise science. So, but yeah, I think this is some good stuff to get these kids ready to go, and kind of teach them that they don't have to stick with the same stuff that they've been doing before, and just really getting away from overuse and preventing injuries and just having fun. I mean, that's the biggest thing. So
yeah, absolutely. That nobody's behind from being at home. You've not lost time, because we've all had to unfortunately kind of hit pause on a lot of things right now. But you're going to go out this summer and you're going to go play these great tournaments in Northern Ohio, and you're going to enjoy yourself, and you're just going to enjoy the practice and getting better. And it's a process, and you're going to keep doing it, and you're going to love it. And we're going to give you a couple real simple things here to do that can kind of help motivate you and help you play better. And that's what everybody and your golf instructors and people like yourself that set up these tournaments, they just want you to go out there and have fun and enjoy it, because, like I said, it's a game. You want to have fun. That's why we do it.
Hey, so here's a great drill. I love this drill if you're just wanting to get warmed up before you go play. And really, you could do this just about any time during the round. If it's a little cold outside, or you just kind of feeling a little tight at all, what I like to do is I would just want to get a golf club across my chest, just kind of hold it this way. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn, we're going to kind of like sink down a little bit, and we're going to go up. You can even do it this way. You can either kind of go down and then up, down and up and turn. So it's almost like, have you ever seen like in track and field or the Olympics where they do that shot put? You kind of get this way and you throw. That's what we're going to do to get warmed up in our golf swing. We're going to get low and rotate up, low and rotate up. You do that 10 times in a row, you'll feel warm, you'll get that heat and blood flow that we want to go to play good golf. Try that.